Sonic the Hedgehog developer Sega purchases Angry Bird parent company Rovio. Star Wars Battlefront 3 was just canceled 2 yards from the finish line. Armored Core 6 key art has leaked, and Dead Island 2 reviews are out. All this and more on this week's episode of Checkpoint.
And we are live. Welcome back to Checkpoint, brought to you by Strictly Casual, your number one show bringing you the important news and breaking down the biggest stories in the gaming industry. I'm one of your hosts, Vincent DeSantis, joined as always by James Walmer. Audio listeners, thank you so much for listening. You can find us on YouTube at youtube.com/strictlycasual. Please hit us with a rating on audio platforms and subscribe. It helps us out a bunch. This week on the channel, we're still releasing interviews from WonderCon and chopping those babies up into TikToks. So if you haven't followed any of our social channels like TikTok and Instagram, our Instagram followers have doubled. It's like 2.5 over the last week and a half,
Whoa.
which is incredible. So thank you guys for all the support there. We're trying to bring TikTok back up because, man, we neglected it for too long and it is tough to get going again. It's rough out there. But thank you guys so much for watching the short form content. Share it with a friend if you like it, you know? That's what you could do. It helps us out a bunch. James, I was going to bring a little something up with you at the beginning of this episode. Totally forgot.
Can't remember what it was.
Totally forgot. I wrote it down. No, I didn't write it down. That was my folly.
That was the issue.
That was my issue. How you doing this morning?
Oh. It's a good morning.
Good.
I love it.
Good. I'm glad. It's a good morning. Let's get into the first big story here. James, take us in.
Sega confirms intention to purchase Angry Birds developer Rovio. Sega has cut this comes from IGN International Gaming Network.
Is it network?
News?
I think so. I think it is network.
I think it's network. Sega has confirmed it is set to purchase Angry Birds developer Rovio for $775 million, following reports of a potential deal earlier in April. As reported by Polygon, the Sonic the Hedgehog publisher confirmed the deal on April 17th, and Rovio's board and shareholders have already approved it too. The acquisition is expected to go through by the end of September, with Rovio's mobile game expertise intended to help boost Sega's own position in that market. Quote, among the rapidly growing global gaming market, the mobile gaming market has especially high potential and has been Sega's long-term goal to accelerate its expansion in this field, said Haruki Satomi, president and group CEO of Sega parent company Sega Sammy Holdings. Rovio's acquisition by Sega is the latest example of an independent mobile gaming titan being hoovered up by a more traditional games giant. Candy Crush developer King was acquired by Activision Blizzard in a $5.9 billion deal that completed in 2016, while Zynga, the company behind Farmville, was bought by Take-Two for $12.7 billion last year.
That really worked out for Activision Blizzard, buying a little, doing a $6 billion deal and then getting bought for $70 billion. Like, I feel like that's a pretty good margin there they did.
Great margin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about this a little bit. So, Angry Birds, do you remember when that came out? And that was, it was huge. Everybody knows Angry Birds.
It was huge.
It's gigantic.
It was a phenomenon. Angry Birds t-shirts, Angry Birds movies.
Everywhere. Yeah.
Everything.
The developers of Angry Bird said that they hope to be as notable as Disney. And I think that statement
no fucking way.
Killed them. I think it killed them back then.
There's no way.
They said
can't.
They hope to have that brand recognition. I mean, I think they had brand recognition. Like, everybody knew Angry Bird. But
it wasn't Rovio.
No, it was Angry Bird, not Rovio. Exactly.
No one knows who the fuck Rovio was.
Right, except for the little... I
didn't know who Rovio was before this.
It's crazy. So, I feel like... And, okay, obviously, Angry Birds in the last couple of years, not at the top of its game by any means.
No.
I couldn't tell you the last thing that happened with an Angry Bird. Couldn't tell you. So,
you couldn't name an Angry Bird.
I would say that their public perception has gone down. So Sega coming in with a $775 million deal is probably a great deal to be purchased by then.
Yeah?
What is Sega going to do with Rovio? That's the question.
Okay, so what I think they're going to do with Rovio is they're going to take all of the marketing, which, like, this feels a little... Sorry. What I think they're going to do is they're going to take all the marketing people who worked on Angry Birds, everyone who did all their, like, I don't know, the people who got Angry Birds to be where it was for such a period of time.
Right.
They're gonna take those people, they're gonna add them to their team, and they're gonna make Sonic big on mobile.
100% they're making a mobile Sonic. Yeah, they have to. Well,
If
they're
they don't already.
but I mean, they'll probably make a new app regardless of what it is cuz like these
Sure.
Rovio has made successful free apps with in-app purchases that thrive for long periods of time, and it's not like a live service game, but it's they bring out
Wait, are you not
levels.
talking about Angry Birds though, are you?
I am totally. People played Angry
Angry
Birds
Birds
for
is
so.
99 cents.
But there's a
Angry
free
Birds was
version.
not free. Is there? I'm
Yeah, there's for sure a free version.
looking on the App Store right now.
But
Anyway, continue with your point.
Angry Birds was like a must buy. There was like no.
Oh, it's free. It's free.
I do recall a 99-cent thing though with Angry Birds. Maybe they tried Angry Birds 2 at 99 cents or something.
Yeah, maybe it was like originally 99 cents and then they made a free model with in-app purchases.
I'll tell you right now, the 99 cents is a barrier. Like you automatically have probably half as many downloads with 99 cents. Now, if you put in-app purchases,
Well, but back in the day, it did not use like when Angry Birds first came out. I
Yeah.
don't think there was that many free apps. Like games were not expected to be free. A lot of them. I think a lot of them were 99 cents.
I think that's why the free apps were popping. Like a Doodle Jump,
Yeah.
that was free.
Yeah.
Right?
Really?
For sure.
I thought Doodle Jump was another 99-cent game.
But we talk about like Cut the Rope. Cut the Rope had like 5 free levels, and
That
then you
was
get
also-
hooked, and then
Yes.
then you have to pay for it.
Yes.
I'm trying to think of other examples of pay/free
Oh
games.
my god, Cut the Rope. There was Where's My Water?
Yep. That was free.
All those games are also fucking incredible. Like
Yeah.
Cut the Rope, such a great game.
I'll say that like
So is all those little puzzle games. Oh my god.
they really took advantage of the new platform being the touchscreen that everybody has in their pocket. Like that
Where's
was
My Water was Disney, by the way.
interesting.
Temple Run, Jetpack Joyride,
Were those
Hungry
paid?
Shark Evolution. No.
Temple Run is
they're
free because you could
all-
buy the boosters, like the second lives and all that stuff.
Yeah. Plants vs Zombies for a time was paid, but then it became free. Plants
Yeah.
vs Zombies 2 is free.
That was a more expensive one. I think that was more than 99 cents.
Yes, it was. So was like Bad Piggies. I remember Bad Piggies was
Mm.
paid at first as well.
Remember Infinity Blade?
Yeah.
They tried
I
to be
remember
like the first
that was a
RPG on
primo
phone.
game. That game was like $12.
Yeah, that was awesome. Great game.
It was great. though.
Shadow Warrior
Yeah.
3. You ever play that one? It's a fight.
Yeah, the one.
It's like a
Yep.
fighting game. Epic.
You remember the Vector one where you play as a guy who is like a free runner?
Oh,
Like,
yeah,
he
yeah,
does
yeah.
parkour?
I love these. Yeah, okay, this is a great example of these are games that came out at the right time. These were games developed for the phone, the smallest experience, and they killed it. And we're talking about games that came out, I don't know, 10 plus years ago when we're talking about it right now. Like, those are just a couple that come to mind, which is wild to me. Puzzles and Dragons being another one that I sunk just millions of hours in, but that was
remember that one.
it was a little more niche.
I'm curious if there is this still a market for this, but just we're out of it because of where we're at in life. I wonder
I
if
think
there
so.
is
I think you're right.
there is a new Cut the Rope. There is a new Where's My Water that we're just not aware of because we're not in the mobile game space.
They exist. Yeah. Middle schools around
Mm.
the world are, you know what I mean? It's like just got your first iPod sort of deal.
Yeah.
Or your daddy's iPhone sort of deal. I
I don't
guarantee.
know what they are.
Yeah. I mean, I want to say it's Roblox. Like Roblox has taken over that scene of you can do anything in Roblox. It's wild. What else?
Let's see. What are the
Minecraft
most
was
played
never on
games?
mobile back then.
Super Auto Pets, Marvel Snap, Hearthstone,
Those seem
RuneScape.
intense for
They're just intense.
like
Minecraft, Pokemon Go, Subway Surfers,
oh, Subway Surfers. I can't believe that still has any sort of relevance. It's crazy.
Good Pizza, Great Pizza.
Okay.
Where's My Water 2? Wow, Among Us, Super Mario Run.
That sounds about right. Those sound about right.
Bloons TD6.
Dude, oh my god. We need
That
another
game's
Balloons.
$7.
That's a premium game as well. I'd pay. I
I
wouldn't
don't know
know.
when this game came out.
Anyways, all that being said, we're gonna see Sonic on this top chart in the next 5 years. That's my guess.
100%.
Some sort of Sonic game. Now, will it be a Sonic Subway Surfers? Sounds like a surefire bet, but it doesn't sound original or creative in any ways. So I'm sure that there will be new ideas that come from this. Now, I would assume that Angry Birds, there's still evolutions of Angry Birds that come out. It just now has the Sega splash at the beginning, sort of deal.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
But
I found top free games and top free games.
you found more
It's
top.
Minecraft, Monopoly, Bloons TD, Monopoly Go, Royal Match, Gardenscapes, Attack Hole, Roblox, Subway Surfers, Impossible Date, Tricky Riddle, Block Blast, Adventure Master, Tomb of the Mask, Tetris, Pull the Pin, Candy Crush Saga,
It sounds about
Call of
right.
Duty Mobile, Coin
Oh,
Master,
called.
Subway Sky,
That's true. All these AAA games have like free mobile versions now too, so I'm assuming that those are pretty
Plague
high.
Inc. Heads up,
Plague is back. God, that's so like.
Plague is back.
Uh, what is the word? Masochist? Gotta be a masochist to play that. Is that the right word?
There's a version of Angry Birds. It's just the classic Angry Birds called Red's First Flight. That is just like the classic.
Huh. What is it now? Is it like evolved into something else?
I guess so.
Interesting. Shows how out I am on Angry Birds.
There's Angry Birds 2 we're in right now, but I don't know
I
what
feel
the
like that
big
came out 5 years ago,
hoopla is about it.
6 years ago. I can't believe
Must
they're on
have.
Angry Birds
Yeah,
3.
definitely.
Oh, I'll keep an eye out. I'll download it.
Mobile game
Download it.
space, ladies and gentlemen. The mobile game space.
It's there. How's Apple Arcade doing? I don't know. I have no idea.
Don't know. I had it for like a month.
Yeah.
Did a little free trial. It was
Free
great.
months. Yeah.
Found some great games on there.
Anyways, this is another big acquisition, I would say. $775 million is not small. And I think Rovio is getting a good deal because Angry Birds isn't in the mouth of the people anymore. And I hope that Sega uses... There's obviously talented minds at Rovio to make a success like Angry
100%.
Birds. So I'm hoping they can make something cool. And Sega has more like other characters they can do cool stuff with as well.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of mobile games, before we get into the next story, Niantic announced that they're doing a Monster Hunter world in the style of Pokemon Go.
That's right.
And instead of capturing beasts, you'll be fighting them as you find them. Yeah.
You just kill them.
Little pocket RPG. Is there something?
Yeah.
I'll download.
I wonder if you can like get their armor and weapons.
You can. Yeah. It's
fuck.
That's what it's all about. Instead of like having this collection, it's about like leveling your armor, getting new armor sets and weapons and all this kind of stuff.
Oh my god.
Can't wait, dude. The story is like
looking up Monster Hunter Go.
The Monster Hunter worlds have infiltrated our world, and so you use your app to destroy the monsters like as you. Are there pictures? I haven't seen anything about it.
Yeah, it's all on IGN has an article about it. I'm scrolling through right now.
How's it look?
It looks pretty fucking awesome.
Tell me about it.
I'll tell you that much. I see. So there's a map with a bunch of different fucking icons. You got like ores, you got bones, you got like a bunch of like resources going on the map that you can collect in addition to the monsters.
Yeah.
So you can go and fight a monster, but you also have all these resources on the map. It looks like you gotta collect to maybe like upgrade yourself. Here, I'm looking at a screen of you.
Okay.
And it's like your guy, and you have your hunter rank, you have your weapon, you have your armor right there. You have something called paintball. I don't know what that is.
Sure.
There's a tap screen of it's like a sewer grate with a gem sticking out of it.
Okay.
And you got to mine it. It's a mining outcrop that you got to get. And then there's one of your guy with a monster on like the sort of world map, and there's stills of your guy like fighting these monsters.
This sounds awesome.
It looks really, and then there's like multiplayer, so you can see other people's guys fighting the big monsters. Yeah, it's pretty fucking cool.
I think I'm in. I think I'll download and give this a shot for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely with that second wave of Pokemon Go I got last year.
With the paintball mechanic, you can tag a monster and then finish that battle once you get home or whenever it's more convenient for you. So you can like
That's perfect.
So you don't have to go somewhere and fight the monster and then like stand there and fight the monster in public. You can like be like, okay, I'm gonna do this when I get home.
You can go
just like paintball him.
That sounds great.
And then go home and fight it. Yeah. So you can do like all the resource mining stuff and like all like the more grindy stuff while you're out and about.
Yeah.
And like while you're out, you can see like, oh, I saw this monster, gonna tag him, then I'm gonna fight him later.
I was hearing something that the fights in this game will be no longer than 2 minutes or like 90 seconds or something like that. Like it'll be very quick. But you'll know if you win or lose pretty quick from the monster. Yeah. Which I don't know, sounds interesting.
And it comes out in September.
Cool. I'll be here for it.
Mm-hmm.
James, I'm gonna take you into this next story. Are you ready for this?
Take me in, baby.
Do you know much about this?
Yeah, I read the thread.
Okay, great. Here we go. In 3, 2, what time is it? 15 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Star Wars Battlefront 3 was canceled 2 yards from the finish line, the dev says. This comes from GameSpot. A developer who worked on Star Wars Battlefront 3 has claimed the game was 2 yards from the finish line before it was canceled many years ago. Developer Michael Barclay, who now works at Naughty Dog, made these comments in response to a Twitter thread where developers discussed the projects they worked on that amounted to the one that got away. James, what did he say?
Well, to be clear, let's put all our cards on the table, okay? Barclay's not talking about a dice Battlefront 3. He's talking about a Battlefront game in development at Free Radical Design in the mid 2000s, not the newer series. That's an important point because EA is said to have rejected DICE's pitch for a third Star Wars Battlefront game. They don't want it. It is kind of sad, but also like what direction would they go? What would they do? Barclay said the cancellation of Free Radical's Battlefront 3 was an absolute crime, Barclay added. Gamers don't know what they were robbed of. Barclay's LinkedIn page said they worked on Battlefront 3 from 2007 to 2009 at Free Radical, contributing to the game's single-player and multiplayer elements. Quote, I feel like it's been long enough now to come out and say Battlefront 3 was going to be legit incredible. And if the fact that it got got canceled 2 yards from the finish line is an absolute crime. Gamers don't know what they were robbed of. Michael Barclay at Motley Grew, April 16th, 2023.
So,
despite numerous and detail, so go ahead.
Yeah, I was just going to go read the next point, but
please.
It's interesting here that I feel like this is just a random thing to say, just blurt out on social media, and it's getting a lot of attention. There's some more details about this that Star Wars Battlefront 3 from Free Radical was supposed to dive into like Legends content and so basically it would have the same eras of Star Wars because Battlefront 1 only had Clone Wars era. Battlefront 2 had the regular era and the Clone Wars era. Not Clone Wars era, but
is that true?
Prequel era. What? Is what true?
Star Wars Battlefront 1 only had Clone Wars era?
I'm pretty sure.
No fucking way.
Yeah, I think that was the big thing about the second one is they had both eras. Not Clone Wars era, but prequel era. I could be wrong. I'd have to Google this.
I think you're wrong.
And so anyways, the third game was supposed to expand on that further and have both eras because at this point the sequel era did not exist. And but go into Legends content where like they have concept art of an evil Obi-Wan Kenobi and like who's like all bearded and gross and like Anakin if he was still good like later on in life, like all of this like random.
You're wrong.
I'm wrong. Okay. What did they expand to in Battlefront 2 before Battlefront 1 or after?
Jedi. They added the playable Jedi. It was a big thing in Star Wars Battlefront 2.
Okay. Yeah, because
we're talking about the originals, right?
Totally.
Not like not the newer ones.
Yeah, not the DICE ones. I mean, that's true because the first one.
Because the DICE ones didn't have Clone Wars at all in the first one.
No. Well, yeah. Wait.
It was only for the new film and original.
New film? No. No, they had both eras. Battlefront 2 launched before Force Awakens, and so when they released it, they then released a Force Awakens like maps with Kylo and Rey and BB, all that kind of thing. Wow, I could be way off on that, actually.
No, yeah, they released that stuff, and I think they had like New Order.
Yeah, and
New Order stuff, right? And Star Wars Battlefront 2015. But they didn't have any of the Clone Wars stuff in Battlefront 2015.
Okay.
They did not have Clone Wars stuff in 2015. But that's what was the big thing with the next Clone Wars game is that they added that in. And then Battlefront 2004 did have Clone Wars and it had OG trilogy, but you couldn't play as Jedi. And then in the second one, the big thing was that you could play as Jedi now.
Well, I remember playing in Cloud City. Like, it was Cloud City with the clones. Not Stormtroopers. Yeah.
In Battlefront 2004, yes, you could do that.
That was like my number one played thing. It was that.
Mm-hmm.
The rest of this article says, despite numerous and detailed attestments to its existence and development, LucasArts never confirmed Battlefront 3 was in fact in production. Free Radical Design co-founder Steve Ellis said in 2012 that Battlefront 3 was 99% complete at the time of its cancellation. However, a former LucasArts developer disputed this, saying, A generous estimate would be 75% of a mediocre game. Oof. EA's new Battlefront reboot series sold more than 30 million copies, but the publisher did not move forward with the third game. I wonder why. EA is staying with business with Star Wars, though, with its newest game, Jedi Survivor, launching next week. Blah, blah, blah. There's an obvious thing here. Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. What's the obvious thing?
The obvious thing is that Battlefront 3 EA never got greenlit because of the gigantic issues with Battlefront 2 at launch. It doesn't matter if Battlefront 2 is at such a good area right now. I just re-downloaded this week to hop in because of this story, and it's so much fun, and it feels great to play, and there's tons of variety. It's awesome. But that doesn't matter because there's no one playing it. Maybe like half, a quarter of a % of the player base would still check in on that right now. And it has such a bad, tainted name that there's no shot they would make a Battlefront 3. Of course it got denied.
No.
Crazy.
I think there is a world in which you could have a redemption story with the third one and really right the wrongs with the second one, but I don't think EA is a company that's going to take that chance.
No, they're not going to take that chance.
EA is a safe company. They take safe chances. They take safe investments. Like Jedi Survivor is a good investment because the first one did so well.
Yeah. I do hope
great reception.
I do hope that we get another Battlefront game eventually. I just don't think it's soon. I think we're way out from that.
It's not.
It's not in development, I don't think.
I imagine if Battlefront 3 released, it would be a live service game.
That's the problem. I don't think Battlefront exists in the current state of what a popular shooter game is. Like, no. Even jumping in.
That's sad.
Huh?
I think it's sad.
Oh, it's definitely sad.
You can't have that sort of game because live service games are so predominant.
It's here's what I'm gonna kind of like compare it to. Like Battlefront 2 right now still has the loot box thing where like if you get to the next level you get a box and that might have a skin in it. And you can buy loot boxes still, but it's less predatory now and there's less like all of that has gone away. But I kind of wish that like Overwatch still had that in a sense where you get a loot box and you might get a cool skin out of it sort of thing. Because now like Overwatch, I'm not going to get a single skin because I don't want to pay for the battle passes, you know? Like I'm not going to play it 50
I think the
hours.
loot boxes was a way better situation than the battle pass situation.
Yeah, I think they work in different scenarios pretty well. Like the battle pass works good.
And hold on, let me be more specific. I think the loot box works best when it's purely cosmetics. I think because the Battlefront's issue was that you had loot boxes that went toward upgrades and that went toward it was a star cards and it was like the materials for like getting upgrades or what was it for like consumable stuff like currency. Currency was in there too. That was an issue. Well, sometimes currency was in loot boxes in Overwatch too. But when when everything in the game is just going toward cosmetics, it's a great time.
Well, I would hope that the currency that's in there is currency to then buy cosmetics, not to buy power. Yeah.
Yes, like in Overwatch.
Which they split.
Yes.
So like in Battlefront now, you can still get that currency like in a box or whatever, but you now just earn skill points to upgrade all your star cards instead of using currency, which is way better system. They should have been in the middle. They wouldn't have been in this hot water.
No.
I love Battlefront. I loved it as a kid. Played it on PS2 all the time. And I liked the new iteration. It had a lot of good stuff going. I think the graphics are still like
it's so gorgeous.
Good.
Oh my God.
And it's tight. It's just a tight game. And it sucks that we're not going to get a third. It's a bummer. Or of either.
Huge bummer.
As a kid, I would have loved a Battlefront 3 now I would have loved a DICE Battlefield 3.
I'm surprised there aren't any shooters coming into this space and wanting to revive like the loot boxes that like Overwatch had. I'm surprised there's no games in this space that are like, yeah, fuck the battle pass. We're going back to like this purely cosmetic microtransaction system.
I think that it would just be hard to get greenlit now. Like the pitch would be like, here's all the proof that it used to be popular.
This isn't gonna be this is not gonna be as profitable as this other very successful model.
But we have battle pass like stagnation now. Like everything has a battle pass. There's no shot. Like when Fortnite came out and it was the first battle pass,
it's oversaturated.
Everybody's buying it. You can't buy the Apex battle pass, the Call of Duty battle pass, the Fortnite battle pass.
No way.
Like this, that.
You're spending $100 if you're playing like 10 games. You're paying $100 in battle passes,
and you're not finishing them. That's for sure.
No, not a single one.
Bring back Battlefront with the loot box. I can't believe I just said
Yeah.
that in 2023. In context of what we just talked about, though. Guys, thank you so much for watching this Battlefront 3 cancellation video. We appreciate y'all. If you want to listen to this entire podcast, you can go to all podcast platforms and type in Strictly Casual Checkpoint. And it's a little blue box that says Checkpoint right there. This is episode 158. Or you can watch the entire video podcast on youtube.com/Strictly Casual and become a member to watch it. Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you on the next one. Peace out. Beautiful. James, I know you're stoked about this.
This is my baby. This is mine. This is all me. It's always been me.
Wow. Okay. Yeah.
Armored Core 6 key art emerges. Anticipation for Elden Ring Studios' next game grows. This comes from pushsquare.com. Gamers can be loosely categorized into two broad groups. Those who have accepted the radical revolutionary game design teachings of outer developer Hidetaka Miyazaki, named to Time's 100 most influential people of 23 list, into their hearts as the future of the medium as gaming, and those who haven't quite caught up yet. All fun aside, key art from Elden Ring Studio From Software's next project, Armored Core 6 Fires of Rubicon, has emerged online, apparently pulled from the Microsoft Store via some Xbox tinkering. This is exciting because, as pundit Okami Games posts on Twitter, it indicates a release could be sooner than anticipated. I don't know if I agree with that, but we'll keep going. Of course, nothing is real nothing is real until From Software says it is. Still, factor in that recent rating in Taiwan and developers beginning to open up about the game, it's entirely possible we will hear something more concrete soon. After all, it is meant to come out this year. We don't know about the rest of you, but a PS5-powered Armored Core developed by From Software at the very height of its powers is something we could go for right about now. Now, what we see in this concept art, it's a single image of a mech suit that has a weapon. It's very
Riddled with bullets.
It's dilapidated. It's missing an arm. It's on one knee.
Yeah.
Wires exposed on a field of rubble. The skies are like reddish purple, and the background looks like a bloodborne sky.
The background of like these, it looks like floating cities sort of thing. Like
it does look like a floating city sort of thing. Yeah.
Very cool.
Mm-hmm. But this doesn't tell me a lot about the game. And when people started telling me about from like a Armored Core leak, Armored Core concept art, I saw this, but I was looking for other stuff. Like there was more. That this is just it.
We now have
so this isn't indicative. Like it's not a screenshot from the game. It's not like there's UI. It's not like there's.
It's like a cover.
This is not a gameplay frame. It's like a cover.
Yeah.
Or like a piece of concept art.
This would be a banner, like on the store or something like that.
Yeah, definitely, like a promotional thing.
Yeah, James, I really think that we're gonna get Armored Core 6 at Summer Games Fest, like full gameplay release at end of the year.
Shadow drop. Oh, I thought you meant Shadow drop.
No, God, that would be awesome. I don't think From would do that. Do you know how many pre-orders they'll be getting off this bad boy? Like, I don't know.
Oh my God, I know.
But I really do think we see gameplay like in a couple months, and it's out in November.
It has to. It would be concerning if we didn't, to be honest.
Yeah. I'm very excited to see what this game looks like in 2023.
It's going to be gorgeous.
I'm very excited.
I'm excited. I've talked about this before, but I don't know what this game's going to play like. It might turn off from people from soft game, or not from soft games, but from their typical player base because it's so different historically.
Yep. Right.
And they've said they've wanted to maintain they want to stay true to the original.
Sure.
And the way those play. And that's very jarring and very disjointed and kind of clunky in some ways. So I would like to see ways that they smooth it out, maybe make it a little more accessible, because I could see them wanting to do that in the same way they did for Elden Ring, but I don't know what that's going to look like. This game's really technical.
Totally. Can you imagine them having another announcement at the same time that they give gameplay of this? Like, oh, regular From Soft fans, here's something that you would like, but we also have Armored Core.
Yeah, I don't know what it would be because I saw that Elden Ring DLC. Maybe they show a little trailer for the Elden Ring DLC.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe like a screenshot of the map, something like that.
I think an Elden Ring DLC like teaser at Summer whatever it is going to be, Summer Games Fest.
Totally plausible.
I
High
would
chance.
put some money on it. Yeah.
I put some money on it.
And I mean, are you kidding me? Hidetaka is good friends with our boy, Mr. Mr. Jeff Keighley. So
He is.
I definitely think we can get something there. I'm excited to see this game. I'm really excited to see it. I have a little one-line news story that I just wanted to bring up to you because I thought it was extremely funny, and that is, there's a little game called Lord of the Rings Golem coming out that's been delayed just every single month. It feels like it just keeps getting delayed. And it's a stealth game where you play as Golem, and I don't really understand it. And the developer says the developer's charging for the precious Elvish language DLC because it had to train voice actors on how to speak it. So if you would like the game to play with true Elvish language, you can buy it. I don't know how much it's going to be. I just think it's hilarious. I think
it's going to be $5, maybe $10.
Like instead, the elves in the game speak whatever the regular tongue is, and now it's just dubbed over. It's just dubbed over with real Elvish. So, Lord of the Rings fans, I guess, if you like that, you can go for it.
Some people are gonna really like get into it and be like, "Yeah, I want Elvish." Yeah,
sure, cool option, I guess, but it's just funny.
I don't have any thoughts on this.
Me neither. That's why it's a one-liner. We can move on.
All right, great. This is not a one-liner because you know what, Vincent? We talked about this. We saw this come from the beginning. This was our first. No, not our first. I think we've had other spot-on predictions, but this is one of our big ones.
I would say we nailed this.
We fucking nailed this.
Talk about what we got, and then we'll talk about what happened.
This is a review roundup for Dead Island 2. And do you know what I'm seeing across the board?
What?
7s.
Yep.
6s and 7s. Sometimes lower than 6s and 7s.
Yeah.
Other than Video Games Chronicle, who gave it a 4 out of 5, which is kind of crazy. But across the board, 7s. What's the Metacritic at?
Great question. Well, you look at that. GameSpot, this is from Mark Delaney, says for a Mark Delaney gave it a 7 out of 10. For a game in development for more than a decade, it's a minor miracle for Dead Island 2 to come out at all. The fact that it's arrived in such a state that players can have fun with it for the duration of its story and beyond, as even if that story itself is an afterthought, is a testament to the team that got it to a once unlikely finish line. It's a great
Metacritic is out of 75.
Wow, higher than I thought.
It was actually a little higher than I expected.
Okay. Yeah.
We'll see how it releases in 12 hours.
Okay.
We'll see how it changes with consumer scores and other critics.
What are the other reviews we have?
Let me get back to the doc. IGN, Travis Northrop says, Dead Island 2 is a hysterical Los Angeles-infused satire that does most things well enough, but feels like a stroll down the walk of fame of celebrated zombie games I've already played without adding many new ideas of its own.
And he gave it a 7 out of 10 as well.
7 out of 10.
Yeah. Did you see? Okay, IGN started a opinion board thing where
really,
the writers can write opinions instead of putting them like directly inside of their other writing,
like articles.
And one of the articles that someone wrote recently was, "Why does IGN give so many 7 out of 10s?" And I thought it was a good article. It was a pretty good article.
Cool.
PC Gamer gives it a 55 out of 100. This is Lewis Parker, and he says, apart from the admittedly impressive technical performance, it's hard to find much reason to recommend Dead Island 2. Although the combat feels responsive and intuitive, it sadly does little to compensate for the game's numerous shortfalls, especially when said gameplay barely evolves throughout the game's 20-hour campaign. Ugh, as to be expected.
Yeah. Video Games Chronicle, this is Jordan Midler. Dead Island 2 is an extremely silly, comically violent, and consistently enjoyable experience. It's almost impossible to stop smiling while playing. Such are the slapstick laughs of the limbs flying off in every direction. That was a 4 out of 5, in case I didn't say before. Vincent, you said you'd like to have a word here. Did you already have that word?
I would like to have a word here. I haven't had it yet. But something that I've noticed from these reviews are saying that it is funny writing and stuff like that. But I've also listened to a couple podcasts that said that Dead Island 2 has horrible writing and dialogue, and like it's painful to get through. So I have no idea. Maybe it just hits for some people. Like that style of humor hits for some and just doesn't for other people. But it's been done. That's for sure. Everybody compares it to something that's been done. I'd like to have a word here. I would like to take a walk down memory park to I can't find the date on this. Sometime August 23rd, 2022, almost a year ago. in which a little YouTube channel called Strictly Casual uploaded a video that is titled Dead Island 2 is Real. Gamescom trailer reaction, in which it's me, James, and Ryder, the three heads of Strictly Casual, the Hydras, if you will, of Strictly Casual, reacting to Dead Island gameplay and trailer, in which you and I, James, were a little more critical about what we saw. Ryder was a little more excited because he likes the Dead Island games. He's played them and he enjoys them. But we said that this game would review at 6s and 7s for sure, unquestionably. And we got more heat on this video than any other video I think we've ever gotten, like anywhere. It is terrible. These lames complain too much. These people aren't fun at parties. These dudes are so annoying.
Next time, don't invite Kurt Cobain and Harry Potter.
Making fun of everything they can see on the screen. It's very funny. Even to this guy saying, this reaction is fun, but I'll give it a 6 or a 7. Like we said about the game. So I think it's hilarious. And I'd just like to be on here to say that you guys were all wrong. It really was a 6 and a 7.
So fuck you.
Yeah, we were right. We nailed it. And no regrets on that video. That video's staying up. One of our most viewed videos ever as well. So thank you for that, everybody. Thank you for
Thanks,
that.
everyone.
Yeah. That's all. Any words for the people, James?
No, I've already said my words. I have my cake and I eat it too.
I want to point out one more comment that says, quote, zombie shooters are so played out, which is something you or I said. And that is exactly what every single review says, that this game is a played out zombie shooter. So we nailed it. And all 64 of you that like that too, eat it. Okay, just eat it. That's all.
Oh my god, it feels so good to be right.
Feels good. Feels good. Waited almost a year to make that one. Ah, man. Man, I gotta make that into a TikTok. All right. For sure.
Wow.
James,
Vincent, what have you been playing this week?
Okay, can I talk about X Defiant?
Yeah, talk about X Defiant.
So, James, you texted me that you got a code into X Defiant. You thought it was the finals, which complete opposite games, which is so funny.
Big bummer for me.
A huge bummer for me. But I was like, I hit you up. I was like, hey, are you going to use that code? Like, are you going to play it? And you're like, no, you want it? And I was like, yeah, sure. So I gave it a download, tried it out, because I heard some people talking about it, and I wanted to get a taste of a Ubisoft live service shooter that feels too late.
It apparently was really well received for some reason.
Well, no, it wasn't. It wasn't well received when they play tested it last year. Horrible. Like, really bad.
Got a lot of press.
They've been tuning it, a lot of press. So I jumped in to play it because I wanted to like get my hands on it. And I think that they have something. I think that something is there at its core that will be good to build off of. This beta did not play very well. I don't know if I played the same beta that other people. It did not feel tight. Like the shots weren't hitting. I would get hit late, stuff like that. The movement felt really good though. I mean, you fast paced. You could slide really well. You can shoot while you're sliding, all this kind of stuff. Just it felt like that area was tuned up, but the actual gunplay didn't. Like,
not good.
No. The characters weren't that interesting to me. There's like 2 cool abilities that stood up above the rest that I was like, there's no way I'd play any of the other characters. Like this one gives me more health and this one makes me invisible. So I can there's nothing else I would even want to use. That's all I would want. So I don't know. I played 8 or 9 matches. I tried to give it a fair shake, played all the maps in there and stuff. They unlocked all the guns the second day I played. The first day it was like a normal progression just to see how that would go. The second day was like, here's everything, like all attachments, all guns. And even then, even like looking up videos of like best guns and like all this kind of stuff, it was fine. And I'm glad it's free to play because this feels like a free to play shooter. It doesn't feel very premium by any means. Do you know what?
Damn.
Oh my God. Do you know what it reminds me of?
Brink?
No, I love Brink. Don't even get that name out your mouth, James. Brink is so good. Blacklight Retribution. Do you remember this game?
Oh, fuck. Yeah. I remember playing Blacklight Retribution.
Yeah.
It was like that was my in between game. Like
Yeah,
right when the PS4 first came out, there was no
exactly.
like shooters on besides Call of Duty Ghost.
Uh-uh.
So I'd be like, fuck, I guess I'm going back into Blacklight
And
Retribution.
it was free. Blacklight was free
Yeah,
on the
it was free.
PlayStation. Um, that's what it reminds me of. It's not bad, but it's not good.
Good.
And I don't know if it's worth your time or not. That's kind of up for you to
Mm-hmm.
decide in the moment.
Mm-hmm.
But I hope that this game does get more development time, because if they have the same amount of success that they found in fixing it up for a year, I hope that another year would do the same, and maybe they really tune it up and release it and it's great. So I'm not ready to write it off, but I'm not ready to say I'm all in on X Defiant. I'm not gonna. Yeah, definitely not.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Damn.
I played that, and what else did I play? You go while I think of what else. I don't know what I dived into.
Partner and I jumped into It Takes Two,
Yeah, you did. Let's go.
and it was fucking awesome.
That's great, dude.
So good. So good. We played the first like level, beat the first boss.
Uh huh. The
And then
vacuum.
we were too tired. Yeah, the vacuum. So
Yeah.
we were really tired by the second level. But introduced the new mechanics, had the hammer and the nails, which was
Mhm.
super fun.
Yeah.
So fun to just work with, hang around. And she like got it. She did really well.
That's great, dude. Yeah.
She did really, really good. Um, the platforming is really great. Level design is great. So much fun to just shoot around, like especially with the little vacuums. Had to like aim
Mhm.
them. It was funny. There was like we were like trying to figure out which role we wanted. So we were like, all right, what do you want to do? Like,
Yeah.
do you want to shoot or do you want to suck the rockets?
Uh huh.
You
It
know, and so it was funny.
it's a good time. It's a great time. I played a little bit
It was
last
so
night
funny.
as well. We got to, I don't know, we're at the
Cool.
snow globe area. I don't know how far in the game this is, but
How many levels? Do you not know how many levels there are in the whole game?
we're probably 5 levels in. One of them's much.
Yeah.
The second level is the longest by far.
Okay. Okay.
Because it's like, yeah, it's whatever the
It's a
tree.
long game.
We played for like 8 hours, I think, and I don't know. We're getting close. We're getting close for sure.
Okay.
But it's been fantastic to pick up, put down whenever.
It's so fun. The
it's
characters are so fun. The voice acting is great.
Yep.
Voice acting is really, really good.
The book.
I don't know who the voice actor and actress are for their lead roles. The book is great.
Yeah.
So good.
It's
just a delight.
a great game, and every level has new mechanics. That is like the first level has the
Yeah.
hammer and nail. The second level's different. Third level's different, and each time there's one section, James, that I cannot wait for you to get to, because I know you're gonna be like, this. I wish the whole game was like this. They changed the
Whoa.
game completely.
Holy shit.
It's like it doesn't become like a third person platformer anymore. It's like,
Whoa.
but I'm not gonna spoil it because it's fun.
Yeah. Okay.
But you'll
That sounds awesome.
just text me when you get there. It's great. You'll know exactly what it is when it hits.
Awesome. Is it
Um,
second or third level?
Third level.
Okay.
Third level.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I also played a lot of Ragnarok this week.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Back playing as Kratos. I'm doing some side stuff right now. I feel
Totally.
like I still don't have an R2 for my axe. I have the R1.
Oh, you don't have a
like,
heavy R2. Yeah.
I don't have a
Heavy
heavy
runic.
R2. Don't have a heavy runic.
You're gonna need
I
that.
don't know how I got this far and don't have a heavy runic, but I just don't
Sure.
for some reason. So I'm going around Midgard right now and just doing all like little question marks,
Mhm.
seeing if I can find something. Beat like a little mini boss.
Nice.
It was great. It was fun, really, really fun. I really like this game. I really like this
You're
game
coming
a
around
lot.
on it.
The scene I just did the scene with the fuck, what are they called? The people who are like the fortune tellers, like the storyteller women who are like all witches, and you go into like the big veil thing,
Oh,
and they like tell you your future. Yeah.
in the sand area.
No, not
Oh.
you go through the snow to get there, and it's like this big, like you kind of get teleported to this big black room, and also looks like it's like a scene from Elden Ring almost, because there's like these golden drapes, and you go through, and there's these like
yes, I know what you're talking about.
yeah,
So
and they're
sad.
like Kratos, like you do what you do, like you are the sum of your actions, like
Yeah.
you like we don't need to tell you your future because you are who you are, and you're gonna make the decision that you're gonna make because that's who you are and that's what you do.
Yeah.
Like you're violent. That's what you are. You kill. You're a killer.
Oh, James, I think you're
And
really
so he's
close
gonna go.
to a big beat.
So he's gonna go save Atreus. Is like what he wants to like from Heimdall.
Yeah,
So that's the next thing to do.
it's got to do it. Oh man, I'm excited for you. I'm glad you're liking it.
Yeah, I turned around on it pretty quick. It like this story ever since Atreus got to Asgard, I'm pretty
Yeah.
in.
Yeah, it's good.
That's what I needed from the game is for like because that really is picking up the narrative.
Sure.
Again, when I feel like it was dragging a little bit in the first half.
Yeah. Totally.
3/4.
I haven't been playing too much this week. I've been reading a lot this week, which has been really good. And I also been playing a lot of Gran Turismo 7.
Whoa!
Play almost every
I saw
day.
B put a picture of his setup.
Oh, bro, I'd be
Honestly.
planting my ass there driving. It's so fun with the steering wheel and the pedals.
Cool.
I got paddle shifting down now. At first I was too scared, but now I'm feeling good with it. I'm unlocking cars. Gran Turismo 7 is a delight.
Do you ever see yourself like expanding the setup even more? Like, is there any like more upgrades you can do to the setup before it gets like crazy?
The shifter would be the next
gear
one.
Shifter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But right now the paddle shifters are fine. It's no big deal. It's like it's a pretty entry level setup for sure. I think the next step is like, I don't know, getting a better steering wheel, better setup. Like right now we're just clamping the steering wheel to our coffee table, taking a couch cushion out so you feels like you're sitting in there a little bit. That's our setup. It's not very good, but it's a lot of fun. Yeah, I love it.
Cool.
That's pretty much it.
Well, everyone.
Yeah.
Thank you for listening to us be right about the news.
About Dead Island 2. Now, that's...
About Dead Island 2.
Please keep questioning us, because we're bound to not be right about everything. But this one, I'll take this win.
I'll take this win any day.
I'll take this one. Thank you all for listening, and we'll see you next week, which is going to be James and Ryder, not going to be me and James. I will be gone.
That's right.
Next Thursday. So enjoy. This will be like the 3rd episode I've ever missed, which is sad.
That's big. It's huge.
I love y'all. See ya next.
Miss you.
Well, I'll see you in 2 weeks, but you'll see James next week.
I'll see you next week.
Bye, guys.